meeting of the workshop to order for July 28th. We have with us today from Michael, Everett, and Hill auditors. We're happy to have with us here Ann Carver, and she will give us an update on her audit. And at this time, I'll turn the floor over to her, and she can fill us in. Ann? Sure.
Okay. And we flip that microphone. Yep. All right. Hello. Good evening. Sorry that we're late this year. Obviously, it's almost the end of the next year due to COVID. We've just been playing catch up since the beginning of all that. So we do plan to be here earlier next year. So hopefully we'll be here soon. I'll start with the audit report, which was a clean opinion this year, unmodified. That's the type of report you want. You can rely on the numbers in these statements. And the first sheet that you guys got is the first page of the management discussion and analysis. And I want to direct you to the financial highlights, that third bullet point. During 2020, the governmental funds had a combined ending fund balance of $9.8 million, and that increased by $1.3 million for 2020. The majority of that was from the general fund. I think the general fund contributed about $730,000 to that increase. So that's some good management, good financial planning, especially during 2020, that you guys were able to maintain expenses and keep revenue coming in and increase fund balance in that way. The next page I'll direct you to is the balance sheet. This shows the first two pages that you have are the assets of all the funds. The general fund, you can see, had $5.3 million in assets at June 30th. Then you can see all the different funds. General purpose had 6.6, so they're the two largest funds. The following two pages show your liabilities and your ending fund balances, which are a little bit different than your total assets, but not by much. The biggest difference being those deferred tax revenues. These are property taxes that won't be collected until next year. So they're kind of put over to the side and not really yours yet, basically. I don't know that you guys got a copy of the changes in revenue, but anyway, that shows what changes each fund brought to the picture basically this year. The general fund contributed $731,000 additional fund balance during the year, and the general purpose schools contributed $730,000. All the other funds were well under any significant amounts. And then the final thing I'd point to is our reports on internal control and on single audit compliance. Internal control just means the processes that you have in place over financial reporting. If you have adequate controls, then you can be assured that any kind of mistakes or errors or fraud that happens could be easily kind of captured and identified before it got out of hand. Our auditing cannot necessarily identify everything that might be an issue in internal controls, but we did look at those and we didn't find anything that needed changing or that indicated a problem with internal controls. So you guys are doing a good job on that. We also, because of the amount of federal funds that were received, had to do something called a single audit, where we look at compliance with grant requirements. A lot of that focused on the school funds, the federal money that the school receives. But you guys actually at the city this year received a large amount of money related to a sidewalk project. And so those funds had to be audited under that single audit program. And so we have to do specific things to look at the invoices and the expenses related to that to make sure that, you know, all the T's are crossed and I's are dotted. And everything on that end came up good. So we didn't have any issues there. So we didn't have any findings for the year per se. There were no management letter points that would be in a separate management letter issue. So it was overall a good, clean audit, if a little bit late. Any questions?
Anybody got any questions?
I mean, looking forward, kind of coming out of 2020, is there anything that we can capture early or do better? I know you
They're doing a great job. The schools do a really good job too. We audit all the board funds as well when we do the audits. So I think there's good management at both places. Jessica does a great job with grants. That's one area where I think a lot of cities can sometimes get off track because there's a lot of very specific requirements in record keeping and how you process everything on that can be difficult. But Jessica's an old hand at that, so she's been doing that for a while and knows what she's doing on that end. So
We think so too, but it's good to hear from the
yeah,
outside source.
Absolutely.
So thank you.
Sure.
All right, thank
All
you,
right.
man.
All right, thanks guys.
You, if you need to leave, go right
Okay,
ahead. You've
yeah.
got
I'll just head on
a
out.
storm coming up, and,
Maybe I can make it home.
yeah. Well, we'll see you soon.
All right, thank you.
It's KC. It's correct on the agenda. Knoxville.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jess, you and the girls for a good job that you do at the front office. And that includes everybody. Okay, in your packet is a notice and the proposed TMI redevelopment plan. The plan will be open for public hearing, tentatively scheduled for August the 9th. The attorney in Knoxville will be drafting the public notice of that. The meeting will be here at City Hall, but chaired by the Housing Authority. And I'd like for everybody that could possibly make it to be here, because this being a public hearing, we need signatures on the sheet for a public hearing. Also, we would need any evaluation according to you of why we need to get TMI or TMG under control through this means. The meeting will be here, like I said, and Wayne Key will be, he is the chairman of the Housing Authority Board. He will be conducting the meeting. We will also have public input will be allowed, and if you've got anything that you would like to put into this, or any citizen, you're perfectly welcome to do so. That will be August 9th at 5:30 here at City Hall. It's called the TMI redevelopment plan. Is everybody pretty well up on this? Everybody know about it? Okay. Agenda review. On July 1st, meeting will be here at City Hall. We will be swearing in elected and appointed officials. We will also be making some appointments. They are in your packet for review. Then we meet next Tuesday, July 6th, due to the City Hall being closed for Monday, as we take Monday for the July 4th holiday. We will come back on Tuesday. On the agenda, we will have minutes, May distributions. We will have a budget ordinance to begin the closing procedure of the fiscal year. We will also review the grant award for the dog park with Ashley Myers. She's been working on that. Ashley will, I guess, give us a report. Maybe we can get our heads together. Tim and Lamar, I think, was going to discuss where would be a good place to put the dog park, what area to put it in, things like that. So we'll be talking about the dog park on the 6th. We will also review the application the planning department submitted to be a certified local government. Chuck, you want to?
Okay, so if you all recall, it's been a few months ago, but Jane Catone with the state of Tennessee came in and talked to us about the benefits of being a certified local government. With the Historic Zoning Commission's help, and Ashley put together an application and your all's permission to apply for that. Being a certified local government affords a city a few different things. Number one, it's kind of like a Main Street designation as well. It frees us up, or not frees us up, but it puts us in a good light when it comes to grant applications for not just things inside the Main Street district, but the city as a whole. So you may be able to look at projects that are a little bit more inclusive of the entire city rather than just that Main Street district. And being a certified local government helps put you in the forefront of any of those grant applicants because you've already been through a significant amount of scrutiny for being a certified local government. So that's basically what that is.
It's not gonna take anything or limit the city. No, it don't put no restrictions upon the city.
The only thing it does require is a person on my staff, which is going to be Ashley, does have to keep an inventory of historic properties in the city, which we pretty much already do anyway with our Main Street road.
Okay. Any questions for Chuck? We will also have further appointments if necessary. I know that one or two that we've got to fill. And if you've got one, well, just so we have it by next Tuesday, would be fine. One other thing that I'd like to bring up, just kind of off the cuff, I have been approached by 2 or 3 different people in the last few days on these loud cars that is going up and down Main Street. And I think if you look on Facebook, we are getting inundated by cars that is shaking windows. And I was down on the street Thursday night after a lodge meeting, and we was down there talking, and you couldn't talk for them. And Eddie is, and I wish they would have been here, Eddie and Billy, but I think they're on vacation. And I will. Strip throat. But we'll be talking about that. Has anybody had any? Most of us live outside the town. But what concerns me, there was a lady staying in the, what's the name of that? The Remedy Airbnb, and she couldn't sleep on account of it, and I understand why. She was walking up the sidewalk, and then the lodge has 2 apartments upstairs too, and one of them complained it was right in front of her window. And you know, if we want people to stay in downtown, these apartments, we're going to have to eliminate the unbelievable noise that they are creating. I think it's a car club. So Eddie was supposed to talk to them, see if they could get them off the front street, maybe find a place for them about 10 miles out in the country with no houses around. But it's unbelievable, believe me. So I just wanted to make you aware of that. And I'm going to ask Eddie to address this when he comes back at the meeting to see what procedures they're going to be putting in place to maybe remedy this. But people are complaining, they are tired of it. So anyway, I wanted to bring that up. It will be brought back up at our next meeting. Then we will have the Dixie Youth opening ceremonies for the state tournament on July 1st at 9 o'clock at the recreational complex.
They're not really doing a ceremony like they normally do. Each team will present their colors right before their game, but you know, everybody will kind of be there at 9, so it'd be nice if you want to come greet them or say hi or anything. First game starts at 10, I think, so it'll be 1:30.
There's going to be a lot of people in town. Tim, how many teams do you have coming?
It's 18 teams.
There's a lot of people in town, and
I know all the hotels are booked from here to Athens.
yeah, that's what I heard too. That's good. We're going to have First Friday on July 2nd in downtown. I want to invite everyone to our parade and celebration July 4th, it's gonna be on Sunday. I think everybody's aware of that now. We've got our signs out. Gonna be a short ceremony at the parade, at the gazebo, and music. Butch Baker is gonna be here. I'm sure you're aware of Butch. Is really in the 60s and 70s, he was a very big country music star. I remember playing him on the radio, playing his records. But he's coming back, sort of homecoming. That's Nancy Baker's son. Everybody knows Nancy, and he's going to be here, and I hope we have a big turnout for him. Then, I want to bring this up. We dedicated the bridge for Clint Riddle a couple of years ago. American Legion has asked, along with the VFW2, I think it's involved, that they want now to pass a resolution, for us to pass a resolution, to make it a memorial bridge. Right now, it's just a dedication bridge to him because he was alive. And all it takes is a resolution, and Russell said he would, Representative Russell said he would turn it in, and all we need to do is pass a resolution. Anybody got any problem with that? I don't think so. Could you give us a resolution, and then we'll vote on it on the 6th? Okay, anything else? Buster, you got anything?
It's loud bubble business. These little yellow strips, you run over $50 speeding ticket or a $50 fine will get your attention a lot quicker than a yellow strip will.
Yep. I could not believe, I'll tell you, I couldn't believe what I was hearing. And of course, the thing about it is, the police wasn't around. I'm not blaming anybody, but when you have a visitor walk up the front street and call 911, she called 911. I didn't call 911. She called 911, which brings up another. 911 never responded. And came over. And I think they thought it was some kind of a prank. She said, I'm living on the front street, and these cars are driving me crazy. I can't sleep. Would you send somebody over? They never came. And Eddie is aware of that, too. He's very concerned about that. Okay, it's raining outside. So we will adjourn and just mingle around, and nothing else. Okay, we'll reconvene.